If you're trying to turn a line drawing into an SVG for laser cutting, converting properly to SVG can be tricky because what looks like a single line in your image might not actually be a single line to your laser cutter. In this video, I'm going to show you how to convert line art style images into SVGs using Inkscape's Trace Bitmap tool. This is a little different from converting a solid high contrast image, which I talked about in a previous video, and I'll explain the difference and how to do the conversion properly so that the SVG works when you use it with your laser cutting machine. If you're new here, welcome to Laser Focus, where I discuss all things laser cutting and engraving. Now, before we get into Trace Bitmap settings, the first thing to understand is that what you see as the image isn't always the same as what your laser sees. So, for example, to us, these three halibut look completely different, but to the laser, you can see here that they actually look identical to each other. And on the other hand, these look identical to us, but if we look at what our laser sees, it's actually going to see something different in each case. So a laser follows vector paths, which raster images like PNGs and JPEGs don't have. When you convert a PNG to an SVG, you're actually creating paths for your laser to follow. And this is where line art can get confusing. Say we took a black line and converted it into an SVG, like this one. Now to us, this looks like one line. The black line that we see was the original pixel image, say your PNG or your JPEG. And the green line here is the vector path your laser would follow. In this case, your laser sees this one green line, which represents the black line that we see. But if you convert your image to an SVG a different way, it's possible that the vector path, this green line, could actually go around the outside of the black line that we see. In this case, your laser would see two paths, one on each side of the original black line that we see. And if you try to score or cut that, your laser is going to follow both of those paths, even though the image looks like one line to us. And the thinner the original black line is, the closer together those two vector paths are going to be. And it might even look like your laser is repeating the same cut or score twice when the second passover is actually just slightly offset the first one because of these double lines. So this is why it's important to always check the actual SVG paths in your image before you use a traced image for a laser project. It's super easy to do this in Inkscape. There are a couple of ways to do it. One is up here if you go to the menu and select Outline View, which strips away all of the fills and shows you the underlying vector paths that your laser cutter sees. The other is just over here, and it's the Node tool, which lets you click on an object and see its actual paths and nodes. So these little dots here are nodes, and they make up the vector path that your laser sees. So here we can see what was going on with our lines. You can see in the outline view that on this one, we do in fact have one single line going through the center. And on this line here, the vector path is actually going around the black line. This is a really handy and quick way to see what's going on with your SVG. You might find these double lines we've talked about, and that usually means the line was traced as a shape. Now, you might also discover that you have duplicate paths directly stacked on top of each other, but that is a problem for a future video. Either way, the main thing is that your laser is going to follow the paths in the file, not necessarily what the image looks like to us. Okay, now we're ready to look at the Trace Bitmap tool. This is Inkscape's automatic SVG conversion tool, and it has a few settings that you're going to want to understand when converting line art so that you make sure you choose the right one and don't get any surprises at the laser. Now, I went over the basics on how to use Trace Bitmap, including all of these different adjustments and what they do in a previous video, which I'll link below. So check that out if you need a crash course. Here, I'm going to assume you know the basics, and the focus is going to be on line art settings. So when you give Trace Bitmap a raster image, it does a trace and creates vector paths based on the pixels that it sees. There are 3 detection modes in this dropdown that we're going to want to understand. Depending on which method and settings you choose, you're going to get different results. Let's start by looking at brightness cutoff. It's the one that's most useful for most solid high contrast images. I also showed in a previous video how you can use this mode with solid images to get outlines, which is how I got this little guy that we're using here. So we now know that even though these look like lines to us, it may not convert that way into an SVG. So I'm running it through Trace Bitmap, and we're still in brightness cutoff detection mode. Because brightness cutoff traces around the dark areas of the image, it should trace around our crab's black lines. And when I use outline mode and zoom in, we can see that it did exactly that. It traced around the black lines, and so each line in our crab has 2 vector paths around it, enclosing these black pixels in between them. So if we're trying to get a single line trace of this crab, brightness cutoff mode is not going to be the one that we want. So let's look at our other options. The next one to look at is edge detection mode here. In this mode, Trace Bitmap will find the edges of the dark areas of the image and only trace those and create vector paths of those edges. But right away, even looking at this preview here, we can see what it's going to do. This time we've got quadruple lines because even though it's finding the edges, those edges are still clusters of pixels and the trace will go around them. Each of our black lines has 2 edges and it's tracing around each edge, so we end up with 4 vector paths this time. While the brightness cutoff version of our crab would be great for engraving and maybe scoring if you like the look of the double lines, this edge detection version is going to be a lot less useful, and neither of these would be good for cutting if that's your goal. For that, we would want a single line that goes through the center of these black lines rather than double lines that envelop them. Now, if we bring these into our laser software, we can see that choosing the cut option is going to show us that the laser is going to cut these double and quadruple lines. And that's probably not what we want. So now let's look at our third detection mode. This one is called Centerline tracing, and the name kind of gives away that this is the one we want for our single path. The caveat for this one is that you need a really perfect line image for it to work well. The crab is a pretty good candidate because it has clear separated lines that are even and continuous. Okay, so now I'm going to do a quick run through of our crab outlines so that you can see the result. And so the output here looks pretty good, but let's see what our laser would see. And we can see that it actually does have just one single line here instead of the double or quadruple lines. That means it actually did run a center line through our black pixelated line. So it did the thing we weren't able to do with the other 2 options, which is give us single line paths that could be used for scoring or cutting. Here's another example that has some sections that aren't as perfect. In this case, let's say I want to cut the individual state segments and glue them onto a larger backing. That means I don't want vector paths around the thickness of the map lines like I'd get with brightness cutoff or edge trace. I want single paths that separate the sections that I can cut. So I'm going to go ahead and run it through Trace Bitmap here, and this is what we've got. So if I zoom in here, you can see it created just one single line to separate all of these map lines, which is what we wanted. Now I did play around with the adjustments and this is the best that I could get. So this is reasonably successful. And for the areas that didn't turn out so well, they were the ones that aren't great in the original image to begin with. So if you're starting with a better image that has clean separated lines and sections like we have in this part of the image, this method could actually work pretty well. In theory, it can also be useful for turning handwriting into single paths, but I didn't have much success with this. Usually for handwriting, the brightness cutoff mode would work well to get something that you can engrave, but it does have the double vector lines around the writing stroke rather than one single vector line. I tried using Centerline trace for this one, and this is the best that I could get it. So if you have handwriting and you do need a single vector path for it and you want it to look true to the original, or if you have any line drawing or image that you need a high degree of accuracy and detail for, you're going to be better off doing a manual trace, which I'm going to cover in a later video. And that is a wrap on converting line art for laser projects with Trace Bitmap. Brightness cutoff is great for engraving line art, but for single path cuts and score lines, you're going to need to use centerline tracing. And if that fails, or you have something really detailed, or you just really need an accurate trace, then manual tracing is going to be your best option. I'll be covering that as part of this image to SVG for a laser cutting series. Be sure to check it out next.